Good evening, everybody.
What is going on, Mezzo?
Not much. I mean, for those who didn't know, Van, I actually got to see him today. We don't see each other in person very often.
It's so funny because you see our heads like right next to each other. You would assume that
I
we're
know.
always around, but this is like the fifth or sixth
You're
time
like,
we've been in the same room. Hello,
other
hello
way.
there.
Um, I sing in a choir, and it's a traditional, very traditional choir. And Van surprised me by showing up to the show during the last song of the first act. But it wasn't a very long show, so it was a pretty short show in general. So that was really cool to see. Actually, you're probably, aside from my husband and like family, you're the first friend that's come to a show in years, like in many years.
Aww.
So that was really nice.
And I got
So
some video
thank
too,
you.
so hopefully we'll get some of that up on Patreon
I
or
did
something.
see that. I did see that. Hi, Alex. How are
Hello,
you?
Alex.
Yeah, maybe we'll get that up on Patreon. People can hear Mezzo singing something.
And our
And
store managers,
I
Steven,
have
as
a
well.
cold that Steven, our manager there. I have a cold kind of as well, and so trying to sing on that was a little bit rough, but it wasn't bad. And I took, just to make it so everyone can be comforted, I took 2 tests and I was negative, so whatever. All right. So Van, did you have a good week, sir?
I did. I was out at the mall. I was at Funky Chicken last night, strolling around the mall, showing off our sabers. Matt, what is going on? Good to see you, my friend. We just picked up a new distributor at the Funky Chicken, so technically we have three
Awesome.
stores that carry our product now. So it's kind of cool. It's kind
That's
of
really cool.
having. It's like it's Kyber Cave is having little babies. Yeah. So there are now new places where you can find Kyber Cave product. So I was out there demonstrating last night, and it was always a ton of fun. Just being out in cosplay, hanging out in the
It's
mall, having
I mean,
people look
you
at you
should
crazy.
Cyber Cave babies, and I'm already amongst the crew. For those who don't know, I was teaching Forest and Graveyard how to edit a little bit, and they nicknamed me. And Alexa, our guest, will laugh at this. They named me Premiere Mommy because I was teaching them how to
Hey,
use
Premier
Premiere.
Mommy!
Yeah, and so they called them my Premiere sons, and then they both have beards, and they call them each other Husbros or Husbeards. I don't know. It's all a mess.
Yeah, it's a very weird cuddle puddle kind of thing at the Kyber
Cuddle
Cave.
puddle.
Although none of us are actually in the same room, we're like all spread out
We're
throughout the
all
country.
rarely in the same area. Forrest and Matt, Forrest and Graveyard are more on the East Coast, and
So
then
is
Gray
John's out
Girls in the
there.
Midwest. And then you and I are the only you, me, and Aubrey are the only ones that are within like close distance of each other, I think. And Anthony. All
Right.
right, so what is our first thing we do, sir?
Nerdy news! I love that.
Okay, so yeah, in the nerdy news, which my lovely news lady, who I updated her hair to look just like mine. Um, first is now they said Wonder Woman was canceled. And this is what
Yeah.
I wrote yesterday, but I know that I feel like I know it feels so vague that I don't know if there's just going to be other reports of it coming back later that, oh, we are having Wonder Woman 3 come out. Oh my goodness, our guest has a dog and I'm in love. Um so Wonder Woman 3 was canceled. There was some reports that like Patty Jenkins, who was a director for the first two, like presented the idea for the next one, and they were like, no, and it just wasn't happening. And then DC's actually got like new people leading it now, so who knows exactly what direction they're going in. James Gunn
Right.
did specify that Superman is like a priority. He's still up there, so like they're not saying bye to Superman. I really hope they don't get rid of Henry Cavill, because like I'll watch all the Superman that I can.
They're talking about recasting Jason Momoa
Yeah, they're talking
within the
about recasting
DCU.
him as
Lobo.
Lobo. Yeah, my brain blanked. Too much singing. Yeah, so that would be interesting. Lobo is one character I don't know much about, so I'm gonna go look up some more info on
Right.
Lobo.
I
Next,
think it's
oh, yeah,
what's interesting is over at the DCU. I think it's because they brought on James Gunn, and I can't remember the other gentleman that's coming in. There's going to be like two of them that are going to be kind of the Kevin Feige over there. But I think what's
it
happened
takes
is
two of them.
what it does, dude. It takes two to move, to go up against a Marvel. But what I think has happened is that there was a lot of these projects that were just kind of slated, like Wonder Woman 3.
It's Peter. It's Peter Safran. That's what I thought his name was.
Thank
I
you,
wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure I
thank
got
you.
it right, because I thought it was like Sarfin, but I knew it was like Safran. So, anyway,
So I think this is just as a way. I don't think it's that Wonder Woman is going away. It's just that story is canceled for now because they're trying to integrate all the stories.
So are you thinking that like it's on hold kind of a thing with still Gal Gadot like doing it? Because just like the day before, she was talking about being excited for the next chapter.
Right.
On her social media. So
I
guess in a way, it's more than anything. I feel like, hi, Bat Mike. I feel like this is like a preliminary report in a sense. I don't feel like we know the entire story yet. Next is we had the Game Awards this last week, and they had a trailer for Jedi Fallen Order.
Ooh.
And I'm really excited about that. Oh my goodness, I'm going to play it on the channel. Don't you worry. And for those who are interested, there is an article in the description below about Wonder Woman. And there's also the article here about Jedi Fallen trailer, which has the link to the trailer itself that you can watch. So it's about Cal Kestis. He's one of the Padawans that survived Order 66.
Right.
And so it's about him. And then I saw a headline the other day, something about like the actor possibly playing him in live action as well. So that's really
that
cool.
Rumor as well.
Yeah, I saw that in a headline. And I was like, interesting. So that is your nudie news.
I
try to play it again. It's so geeky. I need to find a new one. Oh my goodness. Hey, Say Wong.
Say Wong, right. What is up?
As you guys know, what we do after nerdy news is we have our flow of the show brought to us by James Kaiser. This is actually a team of people together. They call themselves Cho Djinn Sith. I hope I got that right.
And really quickly, I want to say congratulations to James Kaiser because he won a prize today.
He did. He won a saber.
There was a saber giveaway by Saber Paul. And I saw James Kaiser's name on there, and I was like, "Oh, he's one of our producers. He won a saber! Yay!"
All right. Well, so James Kaiser brought us the Cho Djinn Sith group. So enjoy.
You got me on your mind. You got me on your mind.
Well, that was interesting. That was pretty
Yeah.
cool.
So that was I know I'm gonna slaughter Din So Collective or something like that.
Cho Djinn Sith.
Sojin Sith. Okay. So what's
Cho
cool?
Djinn. Yeah.
Shojin. What's cool about them that I know about is that is a collective crew. Like they're not a crew like in the same space. They're all over the world. In fact,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you noticed, Matt Torres, who's been on the show, was in there, and then also Darth Morbidius from Amsterdam.
Darth Morbidius,
Morbidius
yeah.
from Amsterdam was also in there, and then Matt is
Yes,
from
he is.
Texas.
And we've had Darth Morbidius on our show as a float artist on his own before.
Exactly. What's cool about them too is that they are such an open collective. They're just all about the experience and learning to do it at any level. You can see that some of the people there, were a little more beginners than we typically have, and then they had people that were really good at what they do. So
You're gonna find this really cute. So I have a friend and her kids staying with me this week, and this is they just came over last night to start staying with us. And the daughter, she's 9. She just snuck in and she was getting something, and then all of a sudden she puts a piece of gum on my desk for me. Like, here's some
Aww.
gum for you. And I'm like, thanks.
Is that
Like,
a
thank
hint?
you.
Yeah.
Right. My goodness. When I take my oil later, I'll show you. All right. So,
Woohoo.
guys, our guest this evening is Alexa, the editor. She actually is an editor for New Rockstars, and her TikTok is so much fun to binge. It's a bunch of Marvel stuff. So she's like your one-stop shop for Marvel edits. So you can see in the description is her Twitter, her YouTube, and her TikTok are all there. She's got like 45,000 followers on TikTok, I think last I looked, which is really, really, yeah, she's nodding her head. Yes. So guys, welcome Alexa, the editor.
Woohoo.
Hello, I'm here with my dear dog Lola.
Hello,
who's Now
Lola.
about to pass out because she ate an entire stick of butter. Okay, bye.
Well, thankfully it was
Oh, no,
Lola and
Lola.
not you that ate the butter.
Yeah, I know. She likes the butter. Like we were like, I just put out a stick of butter this morning, and we were like, was the butter gone or did she eat it? And I was like, I just put it out this morning. She ate it.
Van, we lost your mic. Yeah, okay. We'll oh, he just did. I don't know what he just did.
I was confused. I was like, is it just me?
Yeah, so I'll chat with you for a minute while he tries to get it fixed. So, tell me when like your passion for Marvel in general before editing stuff, but what the passion started.
Yeah, so I've been kind of like casually watching Marvel movies since I was like a teenager. I have O negative blood, so that's the universal blood type, and so yeah, gang gang. So I would also give platelets, which is a little different than just giving blood. It's where you sit for about 2 hours, and then there's two anyway. So I would watch Marvel movies like while I was giving platelets. So I kind of like watched them just like pass the time, you know. And then after Infinity War is when I really got into it. And I made sure I watched all the movies before seeing Endgame. And then it just took off after that.
That's awesome. That's fun. Okay, I think we got Van back.
Am I here? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
So you turned into a Marvel nut, not even by your own doing at first. It sounds like.
Yeah, because they have like literal. They didn't even have like Netflix or Disney Plus or anything. They have like the physical like DVDs that they would show us, so I could like go through and pick out the Marvel movies while I was giving blood. So yeah.
Right. Do you having gone back now that you're doing this more, do you prefer Marvel to the DC or any other products in general, or is that just where you kind of got started?
Well, I started first editing like when I was in high school, and I would make One Direction edits. So like I kind of like continued editing with what my current interest was. And so like now it's Marvel, and I think I would enjoy editing like DC too, but I just don't really know their content that well.
Right.
So yeah.
Now, when you say you were editing in high school, were you just like taking musics and kind of videos and like remixing them or something, or just kind of making your own version of that music video?
Yeah, pretty much. So, One Direction, I like a lot of bands. They have like their own documentary or whatever, like following them around their tour. And so I would take that and I would put it to music. So it's still up on my YouTube. If y'all want to sort my videos by oldest to newest, you can go watch my One Direction.
Very cool. And so that's what started your obsession and your love with editing?
So actually, I didn't really think about editing. I just did it for fun in high school with no intention of it being a career at all. Like I actually went to school for psychology. That's what I wanted to do, and that's what I ended up getting a degree in.
Right.
And then when I came back from college, that's when like the editing really like hooked me in. So like before it was just like for fun, like randomly whenever I had time, and then after college is when it really got me.
Right. And was that kind of like self-taught then still even, or were you now taking classes to figure out how to become like a next level editor or?
Yeah, so I was editing when I really picked up editing again. It was 2019. That's when I graduated, and
Mhm.
so like I was editing on iMovie on my phone, so obviously very basic. And then uh, later that year, I ended up downloading Premiere Pro. So obviously that's like a step. And then finally, I considered film school for a hot second, but it's just so expensive. So I ended up in 2020 taking a class for editing.
Uh,
Again, no intention of making it a career, just so that I can like get better at it. I took one class during the spring semester, which happened to be when COVID happened. So I ended up having to take everything home. But that's when, yeah, so it started out self-taught, but I ended up I think I've taken 2 editing classes at a community college.
right. And does it kind of come naturally for you, or do you find it to be challenging?
I like to think it comes naturally to me. I actually talked to another editor about it at my church, who he's like in more of the filmography and going around with the cameras and that kind of stuff.
Right.
Talking about like what kind of edits I like making, and I like the edits with the music in the background and like all the clips are synced, right? And so we kind of realized that that might be because I grew up as a musician. I can relate to mezzo. I was also in choir.
Right.
So I think that like definitely helps with uh, you know, I think that helps with those types of edits at least, and that's the kind of edits I want to do for work. So
You like your sense of timing, I imagine,
yeah.
especially musical timing.
Yeah, like for trailers and stuff. I think that's what I want to do eventually, is do like trailers.
Hmm. So how do you go from just doing this as something that's interesting and as a hobby to getting hooked up with new rock stars?
Okay, so on my TikTok, so I made this edit. It was January 2021, and I posted it, and I got really good feedback. But I'm kind of deep inside a narcissist, and I was like, this could get more likes. I'm gonna post it again, and so I posted it again, and it happened to go viral the second time I posted it, and that's when John Costa from New Rockstars reached out to me and was like, hey, you want to work with us? And I was like, you're asking me? Of course I do. Like,
Wow.
and
It was
yeah,
literally just an email out of the blue. Like
yeah,
you
it was an
hadn't contacted
Instagram.
them.
It was an Instagram DM. I had watched maybe one of their videos at my friend's house. So when I told her, she was freaking out. She's like, you have to take it. You have to take it.
Right.
But yeah, it was crazy because I ended up talking to them the next day, or not the next day. I ended up meeting with them via Zoom, and I was like, don't you guys want to see like my work? And they're like, no, we already saw it on TikTok. I was like, oh, cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what is it that you're editing for New Rock Stars nowadays?
So for New Rockstars, I do like the panel shows. So like the more popular and viewed videos are like the breakdowns. Those are the shorter ones that are like 9 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But the ones that I do are the longer ones where there's multiple hosts. And so I think that one personally is a lot more fun to me because it's more about the host than about like the content, I guess. So it's like equally balanced more.
Right.
Whereas, the we call them blue screens, the breakdowns and stuff, those are scripted. And so there's not a lot to like go off of in terms of creativity. It's very just like follow exactly what the script says and like put everything that the
Right.
script says in it. And then So yeah, the panel shows are what I like to do. So I do Inside Marvel, Rogue Theory, and Big Question now that it's back. Yay!
Woo! And how much creativity do you have on that? Like, are you like you were talking about with the other ones? It's kind of scripted. So you as an editor, because I've done editing. My background's actually in film, but so you're kind of given a script and told what shots. With the ones that you're doing, the longer format, does it give you more creative freedom?
Yeah, absolutely. So, especially with Big Question, I remember the first time that I edited a Big Question video. I was looking; they had like a guide, like a Big Question guide, and it said, "Think about it like this. Basically, you're the third host of BQ." And so it was like for that one, you just go through it and you add B rolls and you can add whatever memes you think. Whereas like the other ones are more like content heavy and very have a lot of graphics and stuff. It's a little more serious. So
Right.
I get to put more personality in the panel shows.
Right. Do you think, I mean, have you done both styles? Ones where it's, very scripted and they know exactly what they want. You just have to go do that. And then this, you've done both styles of editing.
Yeah.
Which do you prefer?
Definitely the panel shows with more creativity. I don't know. The the scripted ones are fun, but like they're also include a lot more graphics and stuff, which I'm not very good at because like
Right.
as someone who's self-taught, like I have very basic skills, I think. So when I watched what the other editors do with like the classic red arrow and like all that kind of stuff, I'm
Right.
like I can do that, but I don't enjoy doing it that much. So it's more heavy on stuff that I don't really like doing that much.
Right. 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 Is it difficult for you since you're doing the same types of long format shows over and over again, especially doing it on a weekly basis? Is it hard for you to have a fresh eye each week and go, okay, how am I going to approach it this week? And how am I going to approach it this week? Or do you kind of have a pattern and a routine that you follow?
Yeah, so I guess especially with Big Question, since it was away for a little bit, I've had time to like kind of reset on that one. Um, on top of that, I also edit pretty slow, and New Rockstars has told me that. And so my original like workflow would be like I'd go through it once and assemble it. So I'd cut out anything that didn't need to be there. And then I'd go through it again and then I'd change the cams and then I'd go through it. So I'd go through it multiple times and like it created a great product, but they're like, you're the best at doing this, but you take too long. Go
Right.
faster. Like it doesn't have to be perfect. And
Right.
so it really is about, especially sometimes the topics, sometimes it's hard to even put any creativity in there. So I don't know. It's a process every week, I guess.
Right, right, right. Now, I don't want to get like too personal. I don't want to ask specifics or anything like that. But do you, um, do you get enough work from them that you're able to work for them full time, without having to have other like an Uber job or something like that? Or do you have your own production company where you kind of freelance other things? Or how does your work life kind of flow?
Yeah, so thankfully with New Rockstars, I can basically take as much or as little work as I want. Like that's what they asked me to be a staff editor at one point after I think about like 6 or 7 months there,
Hmm.
and I decided to tell them no because the staff editors, you give them something, they have to do it, and I like saying no. So if you ask me to do it, I can say no as a freelancer. I can say nope, I don't want to do this.
Right,
So I have enough projects if I wanted to be full time, if I want to take on that much, but I choose not to take on that much just because the turnaround time is really fast for those
right,
videos. And so the other job that I have, I make content for Instagram and YouTube that has a longer turnaround time. So that's a little bit more chill. So it's a good balance.
right, 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 right. Steven, the fireman and the EMT. Hello, hello. We haven't seen you in a while. Um, so okay, so you have a little bit of a balance of both. So that seems like you get kind of to create your own schedule.
Yeah, exactly. Whenever people are like, "Hey, are you busy next week? Like, are you going to be free then?" It's cool because I get to be like, just as long as I know ahead of time, I'm pretty much available anytime. Like,
Wow.
yeah.
I feel like that's the new American dream. It's not necessarily about like having the most amount of money or being the richest at your job, but being able to like have a life and a job at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, and I struggled with that before like I got into editing. I used to work in higher education and it was really hard with COVID coming home and that work and home area not being separated, right?
Right.
So, now having this, I don't want to say more relaxed, but I guess since I enjoy it more, I'm able to like shut off work a little bit more and like you said, like more work-life balance.
Right. Now I find this very interesting. I am also an educator. I work with special needs kids during the day. I want to ask this, but I don't want this to sound like weird or insulting. But like, do you find like you're like, okay, I used to be a teacher. My job is, to make sure these kids are, get what they need and be responsible and stuff. But now I make videos about Marvel comic books. Like, do you feel like any sense of like, I don't want to say value or anything like that. Do you
I get what
do
you're
you
saying.
feel like what you do is value? I don't want to be insulting. I don't want
No,
that.
no, no. I totally get what you're saying. Yeah. So I guess when I was thinking about what I wanted to do for my life when I was in high school, like my thought was whatever I'm doing, I just hope I'm making people happy and I hope I'm making people's day. And so, I hope that in higher education, I helped my students. I was an advisor. So I loved encouraging my students. So hopefully that made them happy. And at the same time, like I'm making these Marvel edits that make people laugh or that people enjoy. So at the end of the day, no matter what I'm doing, as long as I'm making people happy, that's my goal in life, I guess.
Right. Do you ever aspire to have like to make your own films or your own productions or to do your own YouTube channel or anything like that? Or do you like being the editor on other people's projects?
I like being the editor on other people's projects. I think I am I have ADHD. I have my clicker thing right here, so I don't really have that long of an attention span. So I feel like if I had to go through the whole process of like setting up, hiring people, filming, like all that kind of stuff, that I would just like get bored of it and move on to something else and never finish it. So like with editing,
Right.
like that's what's good about the quick turnaround of New Rockstars is like it's done within a day and then I can move on.
Right. You
So
don't have time to get bored.
yeah.
What's up, Graveyard? Good to see you. So in a perfect world, would you like the quick edit kind of things much better? You wouldn't be interested in having like your own. I mean, have you thought of your own films or your own show ideas or anything like that? It just doesn't appeal to you.
No, I like collaborating with people before like they start filming, like knowing that I'm going to edit. Like for example, when I was working in higher education, there was a video that I wanted to have everybody make, and so I like giving my input when that's happening, but I don't like being in charge of it. I just like give it to me.
What's your favorite thing that you've done so far?
Um, I love Big Question. Literally, the new rock stars. People call me the CEO of Big Question because I love it so much. And actually, a lot of the other editors don't really like it, so it's like it's my baby. And I have so many like blooper reels from it. So those make me really happy. And so I think just knowing that I like get to make people's days, hopefully by making a good video or putting in a funny meme is like enough for me.
Right. Do you like the behind the camera aspect of like not really being seen and noticed, or do you wish like, oh, I wish my name was kind of out there more, or people knew who I was on a particular, or do you like being in the shadows?
No, I literally put myself in videos. Like in the last Big Question, I literally interrupted and I was like, I'm interrupting to give my opinion. So literally, like I like the being able to hide, but I will put myself out there if I feel like I want to. So um, yeah, I have very much inserted myself into like the new rock stars like team, because the freelancers are very separate from like the in-staff team, and so I kind of like wiggled my way in there and made myself known because I'm like I want people to know me. I don't know.
All right. Actually, we do another show on this channel. I was like, oh my god, we should have you come on this Wednesday too. So we do another show that has to do with health and disabilities and things like that. And our topic for this next show is ADD and ADHD. And so we try to bring in different people that have that and like what's it like. Anyways, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, well, we will get a hold of you after this show.
Cool.
That's on Wednesday. Do you like the formats that they do at New Rockstars, or do you ever do you ever get ideas and like, oh man, I would really love to see this kind of switched around a little bit, or watching other channels and seeing how they do it, or do you just kind of go with the flow?
I mean, I kind of go with the flow. There are some things that like I wish I had more like say in. Like I don't know. I just like reels like in general. Like obviously my style of edit is very like short and quick, and that also includes like one of my favorite kinds of videos to make is like blooper reels. And so they don't have anybody like officially making that at New Rockstars, but I make them just for fun, for free. So
Right.
yeah. So I wish that we could make that like an official thing and like maybe like weekly have like
That would be so much fun, like a bloopers reel thing.
yeah. So I even like I don't know who gave me this ability on Slack, but they I was able to make a bloopers channel, so now everybody's sending their bloopers. So hopefully I'll get to do more of that.
I'm all for that. I
Yeah.
would love that. So do you have like more of a comedy kind of a slant to you?
I don't know. I think probably I like the details more, but I also grew up very much on YouTube with creators that include a lot of memes, and you know, like Reddit has a lot of memes and that kind of stuff. So I feel like that I am able to contribute to like the internet culture, because it's like the internet funny isn't the same as in real life funny. So I feel like I have that internet funny to
Right. Um sorry. We think like doing bloopers. Everybody's loving the idea of bloopers over here. They
Yes.
want to see bloopers.
I'm gonna send this over to the in-house boys and tell them that's what the people want.
Send it right up the chain. The people have spoken. They want their bloopers.
Yes.
Now, do you get we were talking about ADHD and on a different show we were talking about how some people talk about disabilities, but or maybe like autism or something like that, but there are some people, like editing is a perfect example of people of a job that's great for people with ADHD because it allows them to hyper focus on certain things. Do you find that to be the case with you, or do you think that the two kind of go hand in hand?
Absolutely. Like another one of the reasons I don't like doing the short like breakdown videos is because oftentimes they're shot in the afternoon, and so you have to edit it like in the evening and have it back by the next morning.
Right.
So I'm very much more hyper focused in the morning. So I'm only give me stuff that I'm able to work on in the morning, because I'll be able to get it done faster and I'm gonna have more fun doing it.
Wow.
So yeah, absolutely, 100%. I think I probably wouldn't be, because I didn't get started. I didn't start getting treated for ADHD until college. So I feel like if I hadn't, I might not be in the position that I'm in, because it has improved my life so much. Like it's crazy.
Right. I think it's not that it's anything bad. It's just learning to deal with it differently. It's just a different way of learning.
Yeah.
What do you have? Do you have is this something that you see that you want to do for foreseeable future, or do you have other things that you are interested in, like maybe writing projects, or maybe you like music or other things as well?
Yeah, for right now, I think I'm gonna stick with editing. I mean, I made a very like big jump, obviously, from psychology into like higher education and advising, and to editing was like completely different. So,
Right.
I mean, I don't know if I want to edit for the rest of my life, but I'm not sure what else yet I would want to do. So I think I'm just gonna play it by ear and enjoy my time as an editor. And then if I feel like I want to hop out and go to a different profession, then I'll do it then. But I'm just right now I'm sticking with it.
Do you like the YouTube style of editing where it's kind of that quick pace, day in day out? I know you said that you were talking about that you like that pace, but could you see yourself doing like editing on feature films or maybe for a television or a film studio? Would you be interested in that type of editing?
Maybe I did do in my editing class. We kind of did like a study of the each of the films that were nominated for like best editing, and so it's kind of like there's an art to that you wouldn't think, like with what camera angles you use and all that kind of stuff. So it's not really something I'm familiar with. I feel like maybe if I was more familiar with it, that I would be interested in it, but just right now again, and movies and TV shows have a lot more commitment time. So I
Right.
don't know.
Right. Do you find like I found this when I was doing film, like there are certain things that I just did like naturally and nobody taught me to do it or anything, but then like taking class I was like, "Oh, I was actually doing that right. That was the right thing to do." Do you find yourself having those moments?
Yeah. I definitely one of the things also that came out of like my music background, I think, is using like I'm sure there's a better way to do this again, but like I'll download like a metronome of a certain BPM and then I'll use that. And then I learned that you can actually just put markers in the timeline. Like that's such a basic thing. But when I learned that, I was like, I don't have to do the metronome anymore. I could just add the markers and then take the metronome out.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, absolutely. It's like we got the idea there, but when you're self-taught, you don't get to see all the features of like whatever software you're using. Like I just recently found out that there's a feature where if you want to cut in between, like say if you're going to cut the scene of a movie and you want cuts in between each like cam change, you can just have the AI do it. Like I
Right.
was cutting in between every single one, like taking that time. Now I
Right.
found out that I didn't even have to do that. So it's on both sides. I'm learning a lot that I should have been doing, but
Right, right. Now we actually had, I want to say maybe 3 weeks ago, we had Tommy Bechtold was actually on this show, and we got to interview him, and he was saying that a lot more is being concentrated into LA since they have the main uh, building there now. But he said a lot of editors and stuff are kind of spread out all over the country.
Mhm.
Do you ever feel kind of like isolated in your job, like you're by yourself, or do you? I mean, is there really kind of a team connection even through the internet?
So yeah, it does feel kind of isolating. I'm really the one again, like I think a lot of the other editors are okay with that. And I really was the one that came into the freelance editor Slack and be like, hey guys, like send me your work. I want to get to know you. Like I want to be friends with you kind of thing instead of
Right.
everybody just doing like work stuff. So I think that the isolation can be uh, a hard part of it, but I've kind of again wiggled my way into making friends with people when the rest of them are like, oh, I just want to do my work and shut off the computer.
Right. Do you see more coming from this, or like more growth, or like would you ever want to be like the main producer of a show? I know you were saying that there was a lot that didn't go into it, but for example, you came up with the idea of a blooper show. Would you want to be like the captain of in that?
Yeah, I think I would absolutely, like, because that's another thing is like even though I probably wouldn't want to like do like filmography and like recording myself like with the camera, I also want to have control over everything. So the only way that I can have control over everything is if I do everything myself. So yeah,
Right.
I'd probably want to be the captain.
You're trying to do both at the same time. You're trying to you want to be hidden, but you also want complete control of the situation.
Yeah. So that's not really realistic. So I just gotta, I gotta settle for whichever one I feel like that day, I guess.
Mez says the CEO of BQ and the captain of bloopers.
Yeah.
Do you since you do music as well, do you still play music, or does that incorporate or work it all into what you're doing with your editing?
Yeah, so I still play the piano sometimes. I was in choir, and so I feel like I just have uh, people on TikTok. Uh, a lot of TikTok style is very different from my style. You can ask Mezzo; she's seen all the shit that's going on right now on TikTok.
Right.
But the trailer style, which is the kind I enjoy liking, like it's very dependent on stuff being synced perfectly. Like it doesn't hit the same, even if it's just a couple frames off.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, I think that the music, it's also fun, like creating. I think it would be fun to create the trailer music too, just because, like, but then that's again me wanting to have control over every
Of
single part
everything.
of it. So I don't know if that's really fair, but yeah, I think that my music background has definitely helped me develop my style, and like that style is what got me the job with New Rockstars. So
Right, right, right. What about video games? Do you think you'd ever be interested in editing a video game or working on a video game?
yeah, I do think that would be fun. It's again, it's just something I'm not really familiar with. So I'm sure if like I got into like a game, I would be equally as like pumped to edit that kind of stuff. But just right now, I'm just chilling with Marvel.
Right, right. Hey, we're gonna be getting ready to wrap up here in about 5 minutes, Alexa. Do you have anything that you want to tell people, or like bits of inspiration, or things that maybe new editors, things that you wish that you knew when you were younger, a younger editor?
Yeah, sure. So right now on TikTok, a bunch of people are, because the editing style has changed so much recently with
Right,
TikTok and Instagram. There are a lot of people who send me, and I'm sure any other editor who has a similar style, hate because it's not the style that they think is an edit. So
right.
if you put time into editing the video, if you whatever, don't let anyone ever tell you that it's not an edit. Okay, like
Wow.
don't. If people on the internet are insane, I'm telling you. I got this comment one time. It was after I got hired by New Rockstars, and this person was like, you got a job from this, they must have just felt bad for you. And so it was like this great, like people on the internet have no like brain cells, I don't know. So something that my sponsor said to me that really stuck with me is, so if you're going to take anything away from this, it's don't take criticism from someone you wouldn't take advice from. So if
Right,
you're getting criticism from some random person on the internet who's never made an edit in their life, discard it, throw that in the trash.
right, right.
So I also, maybe at the end of the day, maybe I shouldn't even be looking at those comments, but I don't know. So I would
I've
say,
I
never
would look
really.
at the comments and then take a drink every time you see
yeah,
no, like be like, oh really? And then like give yourself a dime every time someone says something.
yeah,
Celebrate it because they're just jealous.
I've
yeah.
never really thought of editing being a trendy thing.
Yeah, it's like it's weird because people like genuinely are like, this is bad because it's just clips put together. And I was like, what is an
That's
edit? It's
what
just,
editing is.
yeah, exactly. And so it's a lot of these teenagers who, are behind a screen and will say anything just because they don't have to be held accountable for it. So
Right.
yeah, don't take people on the internet too seriously. If it's another uh, editor, I would trust another editor more than like some random person on the internet. So
Right, right, right. Wow, this has been fantastic, Alexa. What do you have I'm sure we're gonna have it here, but do you want to let people know where they can find some of your work? I know you were talking about your TikTok page.
yeah. So most of my edits, all drama free, you can find on YouTube. If you want to see all the drama, you can go to TikTok. Um, there's a lot. That's where a lot of the engagement. That's probably why it ended up going viral, is because there was so much hate engagement on it. So if you're
Wow.
interested in seeing like the crazy comments, go to my TikTok. And
This
then
ought to be fun. Get some popcorn.
yeah, no, for real. And like people will argue for me. Like I don't even have to respond to people because I'll get a hate comment, and then someone
Right.
who like disagrees will respond.
Right, right, right,
Yeah,
right.
so get the popcorn, and then My Twitter is more for my own thoughts, and then if I ever create anything for new rock stars, and I get to release it in advance, like a blooper reel, for example, if they don't post it themselves, I'll post it first. So if you're interested in exclusive new Rockstars content, follow me on Twitter.
Nice. Do you ever, or are you in the position to do commission work? Like if somebody really liked your editing style, could they call you and say, hey, I'm working on this 15-minute mini movie. Can I hire you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm still
Woohoo for money.
yeah, I'm still feeling my way through everything. So I usually think, oh, I wouldn't like to do that, but like I've never tried it before, so I need to like try it before I say that I don't like it. So
Right. Is there anything you wouldn't try, like a horror movie? Are you not into like gore or something like that? Or
yeah, I mean, the thing with horror movies, though, like I don't like watching horror movies, but it would be fun to edit because it's all about, again, the timing of like that makes it suspenseful and makes people scared.
right.
I think something that I wouldn't want to try, which kind of sounds crazy, is like any special effects for like a Marvel movie because that takes so much work.
Right.
I'm very like I like the basics more. So
Right. Wow. Well, Alexa, I have had a fantastic time with you tonight. Thank you so much for talking with us.
Thanks for having me.
I'm excited. I'm going to be watching for your special edits now.
Okay.
And now that I know you're on
They're
Big Question,
lots of fun.
Yeah, well, now that I know to go directly to Big Question, I know what to look for.
Yeah.
So very cool. Hopefully you will come on with us again in the future, and we can see how you progress and grow.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Alexa.
Thank you, you rock. Woohoo!
That was so cool. Because
Oh yeah, I forgot we don't have an outro.
Yeah, we don't have an outro. So I'm sitting there watching, and I'm thinking, self-taught. She was singing in a choir, and I'm like, this is a girl after my own heart. Like I totally, I just sang at a choir concert today, and I started using when I was doing editing, and I first started. I was just kind of thrown into it when it was very simple stuff, and it was like Windows Movie Maker,
right?
A long time ago, and then I eventually had Sony Vegas for a short time, but I didn't really like the user interface on it that much, and so I decided to like fork over and do Adobe and do Premiere Pro, and I really enjoy the workflow with it a lot. And I went ahead and did so I have Adobe Illustrator and I have After Effects and all of that. After Effects is more towards the special effects stuff.
Right.
Like it's a little bit more complicated. But I really enjoy it. I'm sitting there watching and just like, I totally understand. I'm totally feeling it. I was like, it's kismet.
Wow.
Anyway, okay. Thank you, Alexa, for coming on there.
Super,
you guys,
super cool.
Yeah, check out in the description below her TikTok, Twitter, and her YouTube. I also put I think a couple links in the chat. I put one of an edit she did of Yelena and Natasha. It opens with Yelena visiting Natasha's grave.
Right.
Spoiler alert, I guess. It's a little old spoiler alert, but and then there's another one she made, the One Direction one she mentioned. I posted the links.
I'm excited. I'm gonna go check those out when I get home.
Yeah, so check her out on YouTube, guys, and TikTok and Twitter. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy her Twitter, her tweets.
Tweet.
Next in our show, you guys, we have Kevin Hogan, our producer, our convention connoisseur, who goes to the conventions in the area every week and gives us a report. So without further ado, thank you, Kevin Hogan. Here you go.
Hello, this is Kevin Hogan from Northern California with another episode of California Comic-Con Adventures. On the weekend of Saturday, December the 3rd and Sunday, December the 4th, our friends over at Ohana Comic-Con visited the Central California area of Modesto and Lodi Galt area there. We got to see lots of our local friends there, walking around the local lodges there and their cool cosplay costumes there. We got to see lots of our cool DC characters like Batman and Robin there, lots of cool My Little Pony characters walking around there. I myself was walking around as a furry Mandalorian. Got to see lots of cool furries and other cool awesome characters characters and their cosplay contests there. Ohana Comic-Con, as you know, travels to a different city up and down the state of California every weekend. So whenever you get a chance to visit them, definitely recommend it. There's a great chance to meet lots of local friends there and get to check out their cool vendor halls there. Lots of local cool souvenirs there. And also going on there was the Vallejo Mad Hatter Christmas Parade and Festival there in Vallejo. They had their Krampuses going on in their parade there, along with the Star Wars 501st cosplayers there. So we got to see the Mandalorian, some stormtroopers, TIE fighter pilots walking along on the parade there. It was just a little bit of rainy there, but it was still very cool getting to see all those characters going out and making everybody very happy on that day there. Even got to see a land speeder like from the first Star Wars movie driving down the streets of Leia there. It was very cool there. And then later on, as it got a little darker, after Santa Claus there, we got to see all these different Krampus-themed characters. So just like Santa Claus is supposed to bring toys to all the good children, every culture has these various other spirits that bring take care of all the bad children, as it were. They're like Krampus and other various demons and whatnot that have to various myths and legends about bringing in the new year and whatnot there. So it's very interesting there to see them all walking around there. Also going on since mid-November and still going on through mid-December is the 38th annual Great Dickens Christmas Fair going on in Daly City's Cow Palace Arena there, where they've turned the inside of the arena into a Victorian-era London there, with lots of little makeshift streets and alleys there. Lots of people walking around as time travelers and lords and ladies there in little steampunk outfits there. It's very cool getting to see lots of the bands playing there. Lots of people in their top hats walking around there, even some time travel outfits and stuff going on there. It was very cool there. And for those of you looking forward to upcoming events there, be sure to check out Berkeley over there on that's going to be the December 17th there on Saturday. They're having a holiday fantasy parade there, where they're going to have holiday characters like Elsa from Frozen and the Grinch along the sidewalks there, the streets of Berkeley there, waving at cars and people passing by there. So they're fun to check out. Also on Sunday, December the 18th, Ohana Comic-Con is going to be visiting the Elk Grove area, where they say they're going to have free admissions. So that'll be fun to check out there. Get to see other cool cosplay contests there and friends there. And also for those of you in the San Jose area, there's going to be a cosplay in the park gathering there at the Cesar Chavez Plaza there. So that'll be fun. Well, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy the picks, and we'll see you out there at the next Comic-Con.
That's fun. Those are
Dude,
always
okay, so this probably belongs more in the nerdy news, but that last picture of Grinch reminded me about something that I'm super excited about.
Yeah.
So did you heard about the whole like thing with Blood and Honey, right? You know about Blood and Honey? Do you
Is
not
it
know
the
about
Pooh Bear
Blood and,
one?
the Winnie the Pooh like horror movie that they're making?
Yes, I've heard about it, and I saw
Okay.
some images.
So because of the whole copyright thing, you know, like other people were able to get out there and make their movie, right? Same thing happened with The Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
I did hear that.
So now there is going to be The Grinch Who Slayed Christmas.
Honey, I slay every day. They can move a movie about me. I slay every day.
I know. We'll ask Anthony about that one. Mhm.
Oh, Anthony slays way. His level of slaying is like
Next level.
peak tier, next level. Okay,
2 or
like
3
5
levels.
above me. I'm just like I slay premier mommyhood. Oh my
you
goodness.
slay
that is-
Premiere well. All right. Thank you so much, Kevin Hogan.
Yes, thank you, sir, so much. So do we have any last minute info? Guys, don't forget that on Wednesdays we have gaming at 10 a.m. Pacific for Kyber Cave Gaming channel, where I'll be streaming. And then on Wednesday night at 5 p.m. Pacific, we have Hearts of Kyber with Van and John, Ability TV. They will be talking about ADHD and ADD this week, and the kind of like a combination of the two. And tune into that, guys. It would be really, this week is, the Hearts of Kyber is a very like one of the more serious, touching shows that we
It's
that
like
we
the
do.
only serious show on this.
Oh
I mean,
no,
it's
that's fine.
kind of
After
serious.
so Friday night at
yeah,
8
we
p.m.
got
Pacific is our
Deep
After
Friday.
Dark. Yeah, so
Holy goodness.
After Dark is our 8 p.m. Pacific show on Fridays. It is recommended for 18 plus age because there is adult language and adult content allowed. And last Friday, yeah, I picked a serious topic for people to go over, and it really got people thinking.
Yeah, it got deep this last Friday. Holy goodness.
Yeah, I felt bad afterwards. I was like, I didn't think about how deep that was gonna get. You know, like
Mostly
and
devastate
it
your hosts.
It gets people. You know, oh my goodness. I think I'm a mom. I emotionally devastate. Anyway, anyway, and then don't forget to tune in for those guys, and also catch up on uploads that we have. We've got a Monday night retro alcove that comes out with Graveyard. They've been doing Mega Man games, which is fun to watch. And if you guys haven't seen it yet, you know, my hair video came out on the YouTube channel for people to watch and enjoy.
Yes,
and I'm working on more challenges for the patrons to vote. So if you guys want, you can go over to patreon.com/Kyber Cave Productions and support us for as little as $1 a month. And you can vote on polls like how we'll do our hair.
That started off as a poll vote that everybody got to vote on, and then the video went up there first, and then it went to YouTube. So, if you want to be to vote on that kind of stuff, get over to Patreon.
Yes, and vote on retro live game. Yes, very much fun. All right, guys, thank you so much.
Wait. Really quick. I want to remind people. We have a show next week with Age Scott. He has a horror hip hop novel out. But then we are going to be having a 2-week break. We will be off on Christmas Day and we will be off on New Year's. But don't think that we're just because we're gone for 2 weeks that we're gone forever. We'll be back, damn it. We'll be back at the beginning of the year. Well, a week after the beginning of the year. But just because they happen, Christmas and New Year's happens to fall on a Sunday night, you know, I want to make sure Metz is with her family and everything. My family doesn't give a crap about me.
Oh, I don't think that's true. No, Friday show is not off. It's just those Sunday shows. The one that falls on Christmas Day and New Year's Day. Those are the only shows that we aren't doing. But we do have a special little video that will come out on Christmas Day when Saber Rattle normally airs. Right. So we'll have a little special video from all of us here at Kyber Cave for all of our viewers. So, all right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And as you know, we always close out our show with Talk of the Town, our lovely TikToks. I will just scroll TikTok forever and find like 6 TikToks, and then I will save them.
Now I have a reason to go to now I have a reason to download TikTok. Besides the fact that I got a new phone that actually has space on it now, because I've been rocking the same phone for like 5 years. Mine
runs out of space a lot. Like when I was recording for the hair video, it ran out of space, and that's why I didn't have any video of me actually doing the bleach, like applying the bleach, because it ran out of space, and so it didn't save the video. Right. But no big deal, no biggie. I got the rest of it, and people were are able to see the rest of it if they want to.
And
all right, guys.
John, we will see about possibly getting Alexa on this Wednesday if she is available for like 10 minutes to talk about ADHD.
I will. Our topic. I will work on getting all that taken care of tomorrow for the scheduling and send that to Alexa so she's able to join you guys, not us, because I'm not usually there. We have a party this Wednesday, so. Party. All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a wonderful week, and congratulations, James Kaiser, again on winning the state earlier. All
right, guys, we love you.
All right, peace. Bye.